Hey! Okay, so here's the story. I'm going to kind of change what I've been doing here, and I'm going to start doing something I call movies I fucking hate. Let's start off with a little something. Came out several years ago now. I saw it in theaters with a couple of friends, and you know it's not a good sign for how I feel about a movie when I'm audibly complaining about what's going on in the theater while the things are happening. And it is called The Happening, with Mark Wahlberg, directed by M. Night Shyamalan. Couldn't for the life of you, or life of me, or life of you, tell you anybody who else was in it other than the guy who played Horace on Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. Do not ask me why I know that reference. So it's, I mean, the worst thing about M. Night Shyamalan movies, I mean, he directed The Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, Signs, is that you know he has to have a stupid twist at the end, because he thought, oh, Sixth Sense was so well liked by people, why don't we just have a twist in it? So, I'm gonna say right now, spoiler alert, because I'm gonna talk about this movie, and it's gonna be fucking pretty brutal. Okay, so he got Mark Wahlberg, who is a good actor. I like him in most things that he's in. I rarely have a huge complaint about him. I mean, you got Boogie Nights, you got The Italian Job, you got all these good movies that aren't like, if anything, they're not movies that, like, are bad movies if you don't like them. They're just not your cup of tea or something. The Happening, I mean, it's like about fucking bees. Like, the bee populations are dying, and all of a sudden the people just start randomly dying and killing each other, and no one knows why. Oh, what an amazing concept. How mysterious. M. Night Shyamalan. Anywho, we get on to the fact that they're running because it's happening in their town. People are walking off buildings and stabbing each other in the neck and shit. And they go off and they fucking run into these people. And I think the worst thing about this movie is its sense of humor is so blatantly stupid. I mean, God, I wanna, I fucking hate it. Okay, calm down, Brandon. Alright, so anyway, the worst thing to me about this movie is, even though there are like 20 worst things about this movie to me, one of the more annoying aspects is the wind is the monster. It's like you look and the wind's blowing and they're like, oh God, and they run, and I'm like, why does this movie exist? What is the fucking point of it? And spoiler alert, the reason it's happening is because sometimes things just happen and we don't know why and they can't be explained. That is it. That is all of why this movie exists. And then at the end of the fucking movie, the big twist is that all of a sudden it's gonna start happening again and there's gonna be no explanation. Well, guess what? There is an explanation for things. You don't have to believe in bullshit. Okay, the bee population. Sure, at the time they didn't know why, but it wasn't like the bees were just mysteriously dying. They later related it to some, like, pesticide or something linked with Bayer. I don't know what it was. Anywho, the fucking movie is a fucking worthless piece of shit. Do not see The Happening. It is a bad, bad movie.